Yo, guys, what's going on? LuckyRave is back again to give you guys my live stream discussion slash review on Dead Rock Chapter 20. First of all, it's still crazy to even consider that. Not even consider, but just to even fathom that we're 20 chapters deep into Dead Rock. Like, I'm sitting here thinking, wow, it's really been like 20 months. Like, yeah, damn near like almost like close to. I mean, let me think here. By the time I want to say what July, by the time July rolls around, we'll already be in like I want to say the 2 year anniversary mark, and it's not. It's kind of at a loss for words here. But you know what else I'm at a loss for words of is what occurs in this chapter. Yes, we're gonna go right in. Okay, y'all know me at this point. Lucky Rave here, giving you guys another Dead Rock chapter live stream discussion, and the chapter title, by the way, is called Hecatonchiere. So, little brief backstory. I was at work when I was reading this, and when I saw the chapter title, I was like, "Ooh, Babel!" Like Babel was gonna be a focal point of this chapter because of just the chapter title alone. Hecatonchiere. That to me already just kind of screamed, we're getting this. Like, Hero ain't playing no games here. We are getting this right here, right now with this. At the same time, I have to think, Frey. Like, what is gonna happen with Frey? Because given the cliffhanger with chapter 19, you can't help but feel worried, okay? Like, numero uno, that's one, okay? You couldn't help but feel worried about Frey's situation because A, not even just A. First of all, I've been saying this since this whole, Dead or Alive, Field Day Massacre arc started, right? Ever since this Death Arena tournament style on something going on, the minute we got the news, the announcement that the only way to proceed is if your opponent is like dead, right? Like that's the only way you can proceed. So given that, you get to where we are with Frey's situation, okay? Because let's say she was somehow miraculously able to take out Lozen. She would still have to fight I was gonna say EG. Yeah, it was I think it was EG, right? Let me double check. Yeah, it was EG. She would have to take on EG, and if she would lose to EG, that would obviously be a point for. And I hate to say this, but it would have been, in my opinion, a point where yeah, she takes on EG, and if she lost to EG, you know, it would have just been a motivation point for Yagito in a very similar case of what happened to Hein, right? So I was like, and if she came to face Yagato, she even told him, look, you do what you have to do. She flat out said it. So either way, even if she made it past the first two, if she got to Yagato, oh my god, like this situation for the last few months has been a lot to handle. Obviously. But then then this chapter came out and I'm like, wait, hold up. There's a silver lining here. And we're about to get into that right now, okay? So we have a beautiful character cover of Mr. God himself with the institution like right in the center of his attention. So there's that. But you see this. And Hero wastes no time. Okay, Hero wastes absolutely zilch time on where we left off from last chapter. So we see the collision of the battle, right? We see what happens there. Yakuto, no, this is straight up. Like, really what we're getting here. This is straight up the last page. This is straight up the last page of chapter 19. So, what I mean by an actual continuation, we are seeing that right here, right now. So you get their reaction, Yakuto and Gold. You got Ryzen's reaction, got Mikoto's reaction. Same thing with Honey and Zalessia Choco got their reaction too. Louzen? Some of the smoke is starting to dissipate. Louzen is standing, he's like, I told you! I told you I got this! No one's bringing me down right now. No one is bringing me down. It's the kind of atmosphere he's bringing in, right? Like, straight up, that is the kind of atmosphere he is bringing to this table. Right? And you see Lilith looking all cheeky, like, I kind of had a feeling. Yagato being worried. Again, smoke clears up. Louzen is standing. And the announcer's like, Louzen Sensei is the one still standing. All the students are cheering. Honey's freaking out, like, no. Zalessia is kind of crying. She's like, Frey. And then we see Frey. Thankfully, for the most part, we see Frey just on the ground. So she's not dead. She's not incinerated to pieces like was what happened with Lloyd and of course with Des. That, none of that happened. Thank God. And actually, hold up. Didn't the same thing also happen to oh my God. And I was just thinking about him too. The slime guy. Hold up. We going back 2-3 chapters just to make sure I got these names right. So we're gonna look at this. Virgil. Yeah, it was Virgil. I knew it was something. Yeah. So Virgil. Okay. Luckily, Frey didn't meet their fate. She didn't meet the same fate where there was nothing left of either Des, of Virgil, or of Lloyd. Luckily, she avoided that. Luckily. But even with that said, this is still a bit worrisome. But the announcer's like, oh, what's this? Frey Kun's looking battered, but she's still alive. That demonic super macho fist didn't obliterate her. And then you see her smirking, okay? Which Yaga's like, wait, what? Same thing with Louzen. Louzen takes notice of something. There's flames sparkling around him. And then he just screams, no! And he's literally catching fire. Out straight fire, okay? The announcer's just like, yo, he's on fire. And I'm not talking performance-wise. I'm talking literal fire. This man is burning to a crisp. Like a steakhouse fest. What the hell? You see Lilith's expression. You see the students. The way this man's screaming. And dude, gotta say, Frey's reaction. The smirk and everything. I did it, big sis. The crowd goes wild. They're cheering. Unbelievable! Frey Kun has defeated Louzen Sensei! Ryzen, happy as hell. Same thing with Mikoto. Yagato looking cheeky because his girl. Because, look, he did hear. We talked about this, okay? He did hear of what Frey wants. She wants to hug him, okay? So, obviously, there was that. There was that being set up there, too, okay? So, you could, like I said, I do 100% feel not even feel I know 100% Heroes leading into the Yaku Frey ship, okay? Much like how in Rave Master you had Harley, Haru XL, Fairy Tail, which is it's a slow progress still, but Natsu and Lucy with Nalu, okay? You got Sheikah with Shiki and Rebecca. Yaku Frey, 100%? Do I think we're going to take, the extremely slow side of things with Nalu? No, of course not. I don't think that 100%. Yaku Frey is going to be straight up the Sheikah Harley road. That's the road we're going to be taking with both of them, with their ship. So obviously I can see that. But moving past that, Honey's excited. Zalesia Chaco, she's just like, yeah, that's my girl. I knew she could do it. I just knew it. I knew she could do it. And there's chatter amongst the crowd. Then you have Lilith like, impossible. A student couldn't kill one of the 4 demon teachers. And, okay, God ain't impressed one bit, okay? God ain't impressed in the slightest. And you know why? You know why he ain't impressed? Because he explains it just like that. Very, very quickly, but smoothly. Origin root. Those who can use the power of their roots. Originator. Ifrit, for example. And I kind of talked about this. I don't know if I talked about it in the last one, but I know 100% when I did the stream with Blue Star on his channel. I know I talked about it there when it came to the not the affirmations, but like, the, history, like the mythology behind what Ifrit is, right? So he's going to go into it here. For example, to the max are known as origin roots. I gotta say, I love this expression on her face, okay? Obviously, you can tell Frey's beat up. She's been through a lot with that fight against Louzen. But she's satisfied, okay? Listen, she got what she wanted. As soon as she found out what happened to her big sis, she was like, this dude, next time I see him I'm not letting this slide. So I'm happy for her. I'm honestly really, really happy that she was able to pull through. Now, that being said, though, the fact that we ended it off, this chapter, bit of a shock, but at the same time, you have to keep in mind that Frey didn't come out of this unscathed. Okay, that's the thing. Like, if this was fairy tale, let me just say this right now. If this was fairy tale, 100%. Okay, like, yeah, Frey would have probably gotten injured or whatnot. But I'm gonna say this with full confidence: you would have had no severed limbs. Okay, what happened to Frey is very reminiscent of something that happens in Rave Master. Okay, very reminiscent of that. Except the way it happens in Rave Master versus what happens here with Frey, totally different scenarios. Okay, totally different scenarios. But that does still go to show something that, even though Frey was able to succeed in, avenging her big sis, she still lost a limb. That still says so much. But you see what happens. See that smile on her face, which again, proud of her. Then you have Lilith looking towards God, like, wait, that sort of power is impossible. And again, God looking mad confident, arms crossed, saying it's born from the combination of strong emotion, innate ability, and the right sense. Isn't it fascinating? More top students are always welcome. And listen, the way this dude be looking at Yakuto, like, I've been saying this for, like, practically since when God showed up and Yakuto went, like, full dragon mode, right? Second that happened, like, he's been keeping his eye on Yakuto for, like, a minute, right? He has not lost track of Yakuto at all. And this chapter still proves it. He's looking towards Yakuto and he's like, who knew the Black Dragon wasn't the only origin route, which I kind of still want to know the full essence of that. That's something I do kind of still want to learn about when it comes to both Yakuto, both with Frey, and of course, like just the whole origin route in general. Like this is just a general like introduction into that concept alone. Like obviously, roots has been a thing, but just getting the origin route aspect of it, I think that does so much. And all the students are freaking out. They're like, "What's going on? She beat a teacher, Louzen Sensei? Even? Are you serious? No, no way!" And again, I do love that. I love that Yakuto is right there. Okay, Yakuto's there. He's checking Frey, making sure she's okay. Of course, he got Honey, nervous but excited. Zelestia's just relieved that she's okay, and Ryzen's just like right behind them. But actually, hold on. Now that I think about it, where's Mikoto? Just realize that. Like in this pic, I don't see Mikoto at all. But when we go here, Mikoto's there. Huh. That's interesting. Maybe it was just one of those things that Hero just forgot to include Mikoto in. Maybe that's a possibility. That's just something I noticed right now, like just going through this. So, I mean, that could be something that gets added in the volume because mangakas do like to do that to where when it comes to a serialized like this happens either monthly and weekly. Sometimes you forget the little details, but when it comes to like the actual content of the volume, you have the ability as the mangaka to like kind of go back and like touch some things up. I mean, prime example here. Look at Koei Horikoshi from My Hero Academia. Like, dude, the last half of that war, woo, that was some rough stuff. Some very, very rough stuff. But if we get the volumes, dude, the volumes speak for themselves. The volumes speak for themselves. And likewise, I do kind of feel like maybe that's going to be a similar case here with Dead Rock, maybe. But we move forward. We see this the next panel right here with Ryzen holding on to Frey, and he just tells Yagito, like, "Hey, leave Frey to us. We'll take her to the infirmary." He's like, "Okay," and you've got Chaco like super excited, just saying like, "You're up next, Yakuto," and they're walking away, and he gives Yakuto giving Frey the thumbs up, just saying like, "You were incredible, Frey," and Frey's just like, "You can handle the rest. Like, I'm out." So, thankfully, let's just say this right now: Frey lives to see another day. That's the great part about all this, okay? She's able to live, you know, to see the future, like to see what tomorrow is like. She can see that. Now, the question still stands. When it comes to aging, what's that situation going to be like? Because reading up to this part, I kind of thought, well, Eiji's still here. So obviously, when she gets to Eiji, there's going to be a little bit of I don't want to say dilemma, but she's not going to be, I mean, keeping it straight here. One hand's already gone. So obviously, she's going to be at a little bit of a disadvantage. That's the thought I had going in. But what I love about this page in particular here, where she says, "You can handle the rest. I'm out." In a way, it's kind of a callback to the end of chapter 18. Like, if we really look at it, chapter 18, you have Yakuto walking up to Frey, and he's telling her, like, "Look, I believe in you, and I know you'll pull through." So it's a very similar situation here, again, between the two of them, only in reverse. Because again, Frey won her battle. That much is obvious. She has won the battle. And now, much like with what Yakuto did to her, and giving his regards, she's doing the same thing. She's giving her own regards to Yakuto, which is sweet. It's beautiful, to say the least. So again, she says, "You can handle the rest. I'm out," and he says, "I will." He's like super confident about that. And cutting back to the arena, you have the announcer saying, "Well, that's it for round one. On to the semifinals." And off in the distance, away from the death arena, we cut to the schoolhouse. Field day? Huh, that's dumb. It got everyone out of the schoolhouse, though. Hurry up, Class F's next. We can help ourselves to whatever we want. And as soon as all that's going down, right? As soon as all that's going down, you have a door like opening. And like I said, as soon as I saw the chapter title, Hecatonchiere, I already knew that Babel was gonna be a focus. And that's who we see right now. Babel is in the house. Like quite literally, he's in the house. He's here, and these guys, these nobodies, if you will, they're like, huh? Like, who's this punk? You ain't a student. And Babel's just like, huh, I agree. He talked? Huh? Field day. I think it's stupid too. But whatever whatever were you doing in this classroom, I wonder. Huh, he's the guy who went missing in the entrance exam. Babel the Hecatonchiere. And first of all, Babel has kind of been like in and out, okay? Obviously. Babel's kind of just been like lurking in the shadows. We knew he was there in chapter one, obviously. He got a little bit of a tease at the end of volume two. Obviously. He got a little bit of a tease at the end of chapter 7, when we found out that Babel has just been like somewhere, like no one knows where he's been. Then you see him at the very beginning of this arc, like pulling some stuff. So now he's here. And he puts his hand like over his mask, right? And he just says this is my friend's class. And the student's just like, your friend? Like, Nani? And dude, I gotta say here, this man's design, woo, looking slick. I love the look that Babel has, okay? And he just says this, Yakuto-ku. And it looks amazing, okay? You know what it reminds me of? It kind of reminds me a little bit of like early, like not even early, but like if y'all remember Let from Rave Master, he kind of has that design. The design very much kind of reminds me of Let in a lot of ways, which is kind of cool. But you see what he's able to do, multiple hands and all, okay? These are Hecatonchiere. They have like a mad shit ton of hands, and just beats the shit out of them like is no tomorrow. And again, these guys, like, they're not dead, but obviously they're beaten to a pulp. And Babel just says this, Yakuto, I want to see you soon. So I'm actually curious. I really am, like, really, really curious as to this. I don't even know if I can say confrontation, but like just this meeting between Yakuto and Babel. It's going to be really, really fascinating to see. I mean, with that look itself, there's a number of ways you could look at this. Babel is either bluffing when it comes to Yakuto being his friend and he has his own agendas. That could obviously be a case too. Or him and Yakuto are genuinely friends. And I could see that being the case too. I think this is more so leaning into the fact that Babel and Yakuto, they've known each other. They're kind of bros. Maybe in more ways than one, I think, and here's just my theory on this. Babel might have been the one that trained Yakuto. That's a possibility. I think Babel could have trained Yakuto before he got to Denrock, before the entrance exams. I think that's a total possibility. Maybe. Who knows? Or hell, he could be someone that Yagito just grew up with. Maybe. But we'll see. But like that's just the last bit of Babel we see. Even with that said though, this is setting up so much for Babel, and I'm excited. I am honestly super, super excited to see with what Babel's gonna do. 110%. 110%. But we move on. We cut back to the arena. Everyone left in the semifinals. A first year? Seriously? This year's first years are something else. Now, for the first match of the semifinals, two students who made it through round one with overwhelming strength. Yakato from Class 1F versus Setsuna from Class 1B. And Setsuna just says this: "That fire girl was your classmate, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, of course. Wish I could have fought her just to see which of our flames were hotter." And Yaku's just like, "It's a shame that you missed out because I'm going to beat you. Begin!" All the students are excited. Some of them are like, having their thumbs up. Some of them are having their thumbs down. And Yakuto is just thinking, like, I can't lose. Not until I beat God. Not until I kill the one who stole away my family, my friends, everyone. And you see just how prepped Yakuto is. So even though I've got nothing against you, he's saying this to himself, I need to make you disappear. Black Dragon's Fist of Obliteration. And dude, Tatsuna's not breaking a sweat. She uses Soul Fire, Fox, Moon. And you see the two of them clash. And this clash, beautiful. This is a beautiful clash of exchanges between both Yagato and Satsuna. Beautiful in a lot of ways. And they're giving it their all. They really are giving it their all. Yagato, when you see Yagato having like that expression, you know he ain't playing around. So the announcer says, "What fierce offense and defense?" And Honey's just like, "Is she evenly matched with Yagato?" And you see how offended Zalessia. Dude, Zalessia gets like super offended by this. She's like, "Stupid head, Yagato's stronger." Obviously, I know she wanted to say obviously, but that's an interesting way to say it. And Yagato using the arm of the Black Dragon, fighting off against Satsuna, really pushing her back. And Eiji takes notice of this. He's like, Yakato's better. And Satsuna's thinking, I can't lose now. Yuri, she's thinking about, Yuri. And she grabs onto Yakato's collar, and he's kind of taking it back. You see the sweat falling down his face. You see at least 3 drops of sweat falling down hers. And she just says, like, I gotta meet God. And he's like, wait, God? And the announcer's like, oh, they appear to be talking about something, but I can't hear them from here. And Setsuna just says, this is a secret, okay? Got this beautiful double page spread, by the way, of just Setsuna like really leaning into Yagato. Not like they're gonna kiss. Obviously not that. But she just says, I'm gonna kill God. I gotta kill him. And Yagato, keep in mind, very serious, very, like, no nonsense, thinking to himself, this chick gotta go. I have a goal to defeat God himself. So now we're hearing this aspect from Setsuna. We're hearing her end of the story. She also wants to kill God. And again, Yagato's just like, wait a second, hold up. We have the same goal. So if I lose to you, I can't beat God. And that just gets Yagato thinking, like, wait a minute. Someone else has the same goal as me. And she uses her blast, by the way, to attack Yagato. And Honey's like, wait, Yakuto? And Celestia's like, wait, what the heck happened? And Eiji's just like, wait, he got slow? Even some of the other students, like in the crowd, are just like, wait, hold up. Like, well, what is happening here? Then you end this off with the final panel of the chapter. And dude, the expression on Miyaga's face just says so much, okay? He's not viewing this as like, yo, let's be besties for life. No, that's not the expression he has. He sees her as an ally because he's just like, we shouldn't be killing each other. I gotta get her on my side. So, like, look, the expression on this dude's face says so much, okay? That's not a friend of like, yo, let's be besties for life. No, this is a face of like, we have the same goal. You and I want to kill God. You want to kill God. We have something in common here. And let's take advantage. Let's take advantage of this whole situation right here, right now, without a shadow of a doubt. This will be what we do. And I'm gunning for it. Okay? And as a cliffhanger for this chapter, I think it's very well, okay? First of all, we covered so much in this chapter. We covered so much. Ending the fight between Louzen and Frey, with ultimately her winning, I think was great. It was a great finishing blow. Now, for some people, there is an argument to be made here, okay? There is an argument to be made that maybe Frey, it should have been maybe an extra half a chapter. Like, it could have been like 2/3 of the chapter that focuses on, you know, the Frey versus Louzen fight. Like, you could still have that same outcome, but I could see the argument being made that maybe, you know, you drag the fight out just a little bit more, and it's again you still have the same outcome, but it's kind of just like, wait a minute, like, kind of like, what are we doing, you know? So if you look at it like that and see with where things are going, it's kind of just like, well, all right. But then you see with what's happening with Babel, okay? You get his whole aspect, the connection that he has to Yakuto. I think that is very, very interesting and very, very fascinating, to say the very least, okay? That stuff is amazing. And then the stuff with Setsuna and Yakuto, getting that fight right off the bat. Now knowing what Setsuna's goal is, having that confrontation, what that's setting up. Amazing stuff. Totally amazing stuff. So let's see here. If the first third of the chapter is arguably great plus, second third of the chapter is straight up peak. Like, yo, what the hell? And like perfection. And then the last third is straight up amazing plus. You put all of that together, I think ultimately the final uh rating for this chapter alone for Dead Rock, chapter 20. I'm about to say it's an amazing chapter. It's honestly an amazing chapter of Dead Rock. And I can't wait to see. I really cannot wait to see with what Hero has in store for us moving forward. And keep in mind about this. 3 of the demon teachers are already dealt with, okay? Bren is like KO'd. He's gone. Louzen is gone too. And right now, Baltigore right now, he is like a slave, if you will, to Mikoto, which I think is hilarious as all hell. That I think is funny. Only person that's left now is Lilith, and I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see what happens next with Dead Rock. How this fight concludes with Yagato and Setsuna, that's gonna be fascinating to see. But with that being said, you guys, that is pretty much all I have to say when it comes to this live stream discussion slash review on Dead Rock Chapter 20. Let me know what you guys' thoughts were on this chapter. What was your favorite part about it? And aside from that, guys, that's pretty much it. I'm Lucky Rave. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more Dead Rock content, Hero Mashima content, and I will catch you guys on the flip side. Laters.